Hey guys, welcome here to a random episode. I get asked very often two questions, and today I'm going to answer those questions. The first being, how do you do 45-degree diagonal slopes? So I'm going to cover that and show you how to do it. I've actually done this before in a how-to tutorial called Tips and Tricks. You'll find that on my channel in a how-to playlist. And I did like the basics. I showed you how to do a diagonal drop. But today I'm going to take that a little bit further and do a couple dive loops. But it's still basically showing you the same thing. And the other question I get is, how do you get rid of in-game supports? So I'm going to show you both. I'm just going to do something similar to this. Here I have a wing coaster, and as you can see, if I click on here, this section here is a diagonal slope. And if I go over to this flawless coaster here, I have a diagonal slope here, and I also have one going up into the dive loop there. So I'm going to recreate this for you. So I'm going to go into here and take the flawless coaster. So I'm just going to kind of do what I just did there. The purpose of this build is obviously just showing you the diagonal slope. So I'm not going to go into crazy detailed roller coasters or anything like that. So let's do a lift hill. So I'm going to do this around about 12. So here I'm building a B&M, so I'm just going to do a little pre-drop. Okay, oh, before I go on, I should mention that for this, you will need the track edit mod, which is on the Steam Workshop. I will put a link down below in my description box for you. And also, I do recommend that you have the Coaster Anarchy mod installed. This helps with a lot of things. Mainly, that mod allows you to do things with coasters that shouldn't do it, like corkscrews on junior coasters. But that mod seems to give you a few extra little pieces and things to do. So I recommend having that as well. So I'm just going to do a nice curved drop. So I'm going to pick a nice steep curve. Let's angle that out so that looks like this. And then I'm going to just slope that out now, like this. Then on the bottom here, I want it to go diagonal. So this is going to be a diagonal slope. Easy, right? So now I'm just going to curve that up. And as you can see, now I have a diagonal going upwards. So I should probably make that, the banking's not so great there. Let's just change that a little bit. Okay, cool. So now we're going to go upwards like this. And I want to curve into a dive loop, which is going to send me back out straight. So I'm going to click the diagonal slope piece like this. I'm going to curve this up to about 130-ish. And then I click straight, flat. And then I'm going to add this piece at 180 degrees. I like to do it on like a 2. 1 looks a bit weird. 2, I still think is, yeah, I think I like it's in between 2 or 3. I'm going to go for 2. And then I'm going to click the half loop down piece. So that's that done. Really easy, right? But there's a problem. So if you watch the train go around here, it will not continue. So it will come off. There we go. And that happens because these pieces that we put in are not actually connected. As you can see, it shows up a red piece here. So to get around that, you just backstep, delete it, add the piece in again, and it will connect, because the auto connect in the game then kicks in. And it's the same with every piece. So any piece you put in the game that's diagonally sloped, you need to delete it and re-put it back in again. And then the pieces are connected. So let's watch the test train go around again. Let's go from this view. Perfect, so that's that one. So there we go. I'll quickly do one more type of dive loop. And let's take the wing coaster. So of course this was going from diagonal to straight, and now I'm going to do one that's going from straight to diagonal. So I'm going to take a similar kind of concept to what I just did with the floorless coaster. As you can see, the Coaster Anarchy mod gives you these hairpin curves on coasters that shouldn't have them. They don't actually work on the wing coaster, but you'd never really need to use those anyway. Right, let's do a lift hill. Let's do the same kind of thing up to about 12. Flatten that out. Let's do one of those nice kind of Thought Park wing over dives. I believe Swarm was the first one to have that. So here we go. So then we're going to do a nice drop. I'm just going to... The wing coaster has clearance issues, so the train always, you know, clips a little bit if you get too close to it. Oh, I didn't do a chain lift. Big mistake. Okay, let's do that quickly. Too busy talking, I forgot to do a chain there. Okay, let's put that in. Alright, it says carry on. So, from here, I'm just going to take a nice kind of steep slope. Maybe around about 3. I'm going to slightly start to curve it out. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add in, see this has clearance issues, so I just need to tilt it and you'll get to a point where it's fine. So there we go. So there's my diagonal slope piece. And now I'm just going to straight, flat, and I'm just going to put that 180 degrees. And then again with a half loop coming out of it. And that will send you out on the diagonal. So of course, again, we've got the same problem where the train will not actually complete this layout because this section isn't really connected. So let's do that. There we go. Let's do a fast forward and just check it. So I don't really use the wing coaster that often in the game, to be honest. Maybe I should use it a little bit more. I kind of like this layout so far, so maybe I could actually expand on this. But there we go, there's the nice straight to diagonal dive loop. And you can kind of add this technique to like lots of things, to diagonal drops. Maybe you want to do a drop that goes sloping on the diagonal. You could do it to different elements. There's loads of things you could play around with it in. It also just helps with generally doing like kind of transitions and things. So definitely a useful piece of a useful mod to have if you want to actually include this into your layouts and to help you make your layouts more interesting and more realistic if that's something that you are going for. So the other question I get is about the in-game supports and how I get rid of them to do my own supports. And this is simply achieved, and this is one of the only ways I found you can do it, is if you go to the trees, and I like to take the small where is it? It's I think it's a pine tree. So the small pine. I do this one just because I think it's the smallest tree they have. And then what I do is I just sink this underground, but just enough so that you can't really see it. All you can see is a tiny little bit. And then you place this under the support, and you click, and then it's gone. So normally you have to do this around about 2 or 3 times per support. But I do recommend that you do all your scenery and theming first, because sometimes placing paths gets rid of the support anyway. So you might actually do extra work that you didn't need to do with the trees. So I'm just going to keep doing that a little bit. Let's just do the dive loop. Awesome, so now I'm just going to turn that off and then there we go, the supports are gone. And that is one of the only ways I found that you can actually achieve that. Maybe there's another way, I don't know. But also, I kind of wish there was like a button. So if you went to here, and you went to here, I wish there was like a button here that you could click and it was like supports off. That would be really cool. But there's not that, unfortunately, so that's how I get around it. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below in the comment section if this is something that you've wanted to know, and hopefully today I've answered it for you. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and stick around because I've got more episodes coming out of my other projects. So I'll see you all next time. Bye.